Kalen Johnson here in Indianapolis, Indiana. We're at the childhood home of Sean McCorkle. And Sean, how are you doing this evening?
Doing wonderful, even though it's the afternoon, not evening.
And the first thing I noticed when I come to Indiana is the weather sucks. Why do you live here, man?
I only live here now because of my kids. If I didn't have kids, I would be in Florida tomorrow. I considered moving to Hollywood, or to California when I went Hollywood after I got in the UFC, but didn't end up working out. I got 2 little kids, so got to stay here for them.
So
because
what would
their
be
mom's crazy.
I've heard.
Yeah.
So what would be in Hollywood for Sean McCorkle? Movies, modeling, what would you be doing?
Well, I guess I can do anything I want now that I'm not in the UFC anymore. There's no restrictions any longer. I don't know. I guess we'll see. And Matt Mitcherone was starting a rumor that I was looking for a job as a cameraman for gay porn. I like to film gay porn, and he actually had that mixed up. I was looking to get into gay porn.
Oh, so see, there's a big difference there. You got, it's crossing the line, so you're going to film it. But if you're participating, it's just an actor. I mean, when you act, you're not always really what you're acting.
Right, no, yeah, I would be strictly acting. To be all about the work. I don't have sex with men.
So then you've talked a little bit about your cut from the UFC on the UG, but for those who haven't read it, tell us a little bit about your mindset.
I was surprised. I mean, especially with some of the guys that have lost. Mark Hunt's still in the UFC, but it did surprise me. But it didn't make or break my life. You know what I mean? Like, I've had a lot worse things happen to me than that, and I plan on coming back at some point, assuming I can continue to fight. I don't know. I wake up some days and don't really want to do it at all anymore, so it just depends on what I feel like day to day.
Man, GSP is one of the biggest draws in MMA, and you were a co-main event on a GSP card. It just seems weird to let you go after really getting all that marketing behind you, right?
I mean, that was the one that surprised me. I've never said that my fighting ability should keep me in the UFC, but I mean, Kimbo even fought, 3 times, didn't he? Or I don't know. I mean, had a little ways, not that I'd ever compare myself to him, but no, I mean, that's what surprised me. I thought I had a pretty solid fan base behind me. People want to see me fight, I mean, and not just the underground. I mean, like a lot of my friends and family too. But I mean, I think I get recognized everywhere I go, not just in Indianapolis. I mean, I went out to Vegas for the fight on Super Bowl weekend, and I had a line of 300 people waiting to take pictures with me. Nice. And the actual UFC stars had less than that. So it's one of the things where maybe if I was on the Ultimate Fighter, I think maybe. Those guys tend to hang around a little longer if you're on the Ultimate Fighter, because I think they've got more invested in you, more money, more time. So hopefully they'll do another heavyweight season at some point. I would love to get on there and make it all about me.
Oh, definitely. That's how Sean McCorkle always does it, right?
Right, yeah, always. Yeah.
And now that you're going to be back on smaller shows for a few, do you plan on staying at heavyweight or going back up to super heavyweight?
No, I'm not cutting to 265 for anything less than what the UFC was paying me. Yeah. It is. I never cried about it because I don't like to make excuses. People have no idea what it takes to get to 265 for me. I mean, it is an absolute. I have to basically starve myself 7 days a week for 6 weeks to 8 weeks out while I'm trying to train to keep my weight down. I can't lift weights. I can't do anything. I mean, I'm right now at 300 pounds, and I'm pretty lean at 300 pounds. Like I am just a heavy dude as far as body mass.
You're a man of many nicknames. Do you have a nickname in mind for your next fight?
Actually, I did. I had one the other day. I was the Tan Adonis for a while. I kind of feel bad turning my back on that because people really hated the Tan Adonis. Like, I kind of want to make people upset. Big Sexy's kind of wearing thin. I like to try to infuriate people, so I really did have one the other day, and now I can't remember, of course, if the camera's on, but I had the one I thought I was going to use the next time. Oh, I know what it was. I was going to be the Undefeated. So they have to announce me as the undefeated
Nice,
Sean McCorkle every time I fight. I even considered for a while, I was checking in to get a billboard here in Indianapolis and putting a big picture of me in a big sign that says "and still undefeated," and then putting in small letters underneath it on the internet.
Nice.
People won't be able to read it, but yeah, because it doesn't matter what's true; it only matters what people believe, as I've found.
So you're a big man of marketing.
Yes, I'm very good at marketing myself. Not so much other things, but I'm very good at marketing myself. I think Eric Bischoff said one time, if you remember Eric Bischoff from WCW, because I'm a big pro wrestling fan, he said that controversy creates cash. So I don't really know what that means, but I like to create controversy. Yeah, I like to. I don't know. I like to get people, actually troll them. I guess I like to get people upset. So.
All right, I'm going to give you 2 names, and you can only fight one before you retire. Who would it be, Jason Guida or Sam Hogan?
Wow, I'd have to say Guida. More so because I wouldn't be able to, I don't really have a lot of money to replace my clothes and gear and stuff, and I know that Hogan would be leaving with most of it if we were to fight. No, Jason Guida is a guy who needs his ass whipped. And it's been done like 60 times, so I don't know how much a good mind would do. But no, he tried to fight me at a UFC event in Detroit, and I thought he was joking because I have talked trash about everybody on the internet and gone back and forth, and it's always, you see the guy in person, you laugh and shake hands or whatever. And he came up and wanted to actually fight me, which was bizarre to me. First I couldn't figure out who he was, so I told him he was Clay Guida's brother, and I was like, I guarantee that's not the first time you've said that. And then him and two guys that said they were in the mafia, which mafia guys don't normally say they're in the mafia. They kept saying, I'm a made man, I'll have you killed, I'll have Dana, Lorenzo, and everyone killed. I said, what? Don't kill Dana and Lorenzo about this. Like, what are you guys talking about? But they were going crazy, and like all three of them talking to me at the same time, and then Guida said, I'll fight you anytime, any place. And I said, not in the UFC, you won't. Like, winked, even smiled, and that made him even, crazier. But no, I would love to fight him. And of course, they absolutely will not respond now. I've had promoters call him. Everybody trying to set up a fight. He absolutely has gone completely MIA now. Like there's no finding him. But he would fight me in the hallway at Detroit at the concourse at the event. He would fight me there apparently, but he won't fight me once it can actually happen. But I told him and his Alex Trujillo, his jiu-jitsu coach, who was talking shit back and forth, I said, I will go to your gym and fight you guys, like both back to back. We'll just film with a little camera just so I have record of it. Nothing, wouldn't do it. So that he's not going to fight me, not for anything other than a crazy amount of money. But I don't know, or maybe he will. Maybe he's. When you're like 20 and 65 record wise, what's another loss? It isn't like he's one win away from getting his shot. He was 1 pound away from getting a shot on the Ultimate Fighter, if I do remember correctly, though.
Oh, nice.
Who can't cut 1 pound? Like, here you are, your opportunity of a lifetime, and you can't cut 1 more pound. You're going to cry while Frank Mir sits there and just stares at you on the ground and scream and hold your legs. Insanity.
I've heard from sources that your tan is not natural.
Yeah, that's the rumor. It is. I will say this much: it's not a spray on. I actually just stay really dark. I go to tanning bed about like once or twice a month. I really do. Other than that, I don't know. Maybe I've been tanning so long, like Ric Flair. I just have a permanent tan that never goes away. But I didn't ever realize how dark I was till everyone started saying it all the time. And I was kind of like, man, I didn't realize I was this tan. But oh well.
So how's your life changed since you no longer come in the front of the lines of clubs and have women hit on you as their husbands buy you drinks?
Well, I still do that. I haven't told anybody I'm not in the UFC. people don't know that. Like, it's still on my Facebook, I'm employed by the UFC, because 99% of the public doesn't realize that when you're in the UFC, you are exclusively with them. They think, oh, he fights in the UFC, and he might fight down the street too, like they think it's like just a one fight at a time thing. So that's what, they mostly think that because that's what I tell them. So I still claim to be in the UFC. I'm still going to show up at the events and request tickets and everything. Like, I'm not going to go away. I'm going to be like the crazy bitch in Fatal Attraction, just keep showing up and refusing to be ignored. And try to have sex with Michael Douglas. Things like that. Was he the one in that movie? I don't remember. Was it Michael Douglas in the Fatal Attraction? No. Seems like it. I don't know.
So you're just living off that UFC.
Either way, I'm going to try to have sex with Michael Douglas. That's what I'm getting at.
Maybe you guys can make the porn together, make one of the parody porns, and
Yeah, with his recent career movies, that last one was terrible. Wall Street 2. That was in theaters for like 2 days, so he might be moving into gay porn. I don't know.
You never know. There's a chance for you. But what do you see in your future after you get a few wins together? Do you see yourself coming back to the UFC, or maybe even going to Strikeforce, which is now under Zuffa?
I would like to I'd like to fight at least one more time in the UFC, even if it's a terrible matchup or whatever. I'd like to give it at least one more shot. At least try to be 50-50. But on any given day, I'm just that kind of guy. On any given day, who knows? I could be in the Peace Corps or the Coast Guard saving fish or whatever they do. You see the commercials. I don't know. My life is so bizarre. Every 2 years I look back and think, I can't believe I'm doing this now. I can't believe this is what I do now. So I've had a weird life, but I always come out on top, except when I'm getting beat up.
Definitely. And if there's one guy on the UG that you could ban if you were a moderator, who would that be? Because I know the UG's watching this right now.
If I could ban one guy, it would have been Abe Froman a long time ago, just because he was not funny at all. He always tried to be funny. There's a guy, I don't even want to dignify him by saying I know his name. It's something like JJ21J or something real gay like that. He, no matter what, or another guy, something Jeff DRC Choker, so I don't know what it is. Those two, no matter what I say or what I do, they talk about how I suck, and they don't say it like it's not even funny. Like if you say it in a funny manner or something that's witty, it's just all the time like you'll never win, you'll never be the heavyweight champ. Like, and like I didn't realize you're never going to be anybody. You know, like I mean, it's just, and their stuff is usually more meant to be hurtful, not joking. You know, but it's impossible to hurt my feelings either way. But yeah, I just don't like the guys that no matter what you do, they try to hold you down.
Exactly. Have you considered giving Josh Koscheck lessons in trash talking so he stops trying to motorboat people?
I actually was sitting next to Koscheck at the press conference for 124. We're sitting there, and he didn't say much to me on the way over. He's kind of, just sitting there quiet. I'm sure he was stressed out of his mind. My guy was, but we're sitting there at the press conference, and Dana's saying something about how everybody's giving me a bunch of crap because he said that George St. Pierre was the most famous athlete ever from Canada, worldwide, and everybody was saying it was Wayne Gretzky. Like all people are like, and Dana White's like, worldwide, he's more famous right now than Wayne Gretzky ever was. And I leaned over to Koscheck and I said, hey, say who's Wayne Gretzky? Because they all hated him up there anyway. And I said, say who's Wayne Gretzky? He was like, no, man, like I ain't gonna say that, And I almost said it like in the middle of the thing,
yeah.
But I almost said, who's Wayne Gretzky? Just to joke around. But I didn't want to interrupt Dana. I wasn't trying to be too big for my britches just yet. So, but I wanted somebody to say it. I'm better at coming up with ideas for people to say than doing that. That's why I can kind of hide on the internet and say it without people having to. I don't like to hurt anybody's feelings, regardless of my persona. So I don't like to get upset. But when I walked out at 124, the Canadian crowd booed me, which I thought was odd. Whatever. Like they actually did boo me. Like came out, I actually started laughing on the way out. Like you guys are booing me. Like how are you gonna boo me? Like I'm the funniest guy ever. But they apparently thought I was serious. All the stuff I was saying about Struve. A lot of people did. I don't know. Struve said he thought I was just psychotic before he met me. He said he genuinely thought I had like mental problems, which I may, but he said he didn't realize it was supposed to be funny. He just thought I was crazy. So.
Oh, Sean, we appreciate the time. I know you always have plenty of things to say, so is there anything you'd like to say before we turn the camera off?
I'd like to say I find it odd that my parents have 2 boxer statues on their front porch, and even more odd that you wanted to film right next to them.
I'm drawn to the dogs. I can't help it.
Love my dogs. But no, that's pretty much it. You guys are for thegarv.com, right?
Yes, sir.
That is my favorite website, besides my own Facebook page. That's my favorite one. You guys have always been really good to me and really fair to me, and not like them a-holes at Bloody Elbow. Sure Dog hated me for a little while, but then they turned the tide, made a whole big feature on me, but they were trashing me forever before that. But so I like Sure Dog again now. No, I love the Garv. I love the guy that owns the Garv. Was it Garvey? Kevin Garvey is his name, right?
I just call him the Garv.
The Garv, yeah, that's right. I do love the Garv and the Garv.com then. That's what I meant the first time. But no, that's about it. I guess I'm going to go have sex with my real hot girlfriend right now.
All right, man. Well, if you need a cameraman, I'm looking to film myself, so.
That's where I was going to have you guys meet me, but she's not up for it.
Well,
Did I mention that she is Michael Douglas?
And that is Sean McCorkle, and that's why you love him. Goodbye.
Oh, well.